Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be tuning in from. This is me, Andy, from the UK, and this is episode 7 of our series for A360 TV, ILearning Crypto. Now, I'm going to introduce you to somebody very soon, and it's going to take you through tonight's call. Now, I've been involved in cryptocurrency since 2015 when I first earned some as a byproduct of being involved in an opportunity. I didn't know what it was at that time, and I had to claw about quite a bit to find out how to actually use it or how to use it to spend it. And then I thought about accumulating more. But had I had the gentleman we're going to be introducing you to in my life given me proper tutelage at that time, I would not have made the mistakes I did. And I really wish I'd come across him much, much earlier. But before we bring him on, I'm just going to run a little teaser video, and that's going to give you a flavor of what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, folks, hopefully that helps you to get your mind around what we're going to talk about today. Now, I'm going to bring on the gentleman who was featured in that video, the man himself. Now, he's going to join us from his home in Los Angeles, California. Can you hear me, Brandon Ivy?
Yes, I can, Andy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. What are you going to talk about tonight, Brandon, if you could let me in on that?
Yeah, well, besides basic crypto information, the founding of it, the history of it, we are going to focus on your country, actually, the UK, that has made a move to ban Bitcoin ATM machines. So that's going to be one of our main topics for today.
Okay, I look forward to that. Yeah, as I said, it's particular interest to me tonight. So please take it away, sir, in your own time. Thank you very much.
You got it. Well, welcome everybody. Again, this is Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. We know there's so many other things you can be doing with your time, and we appreciate you week to week plugging into us, learning a little bit about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and how you can get yourself involved, why education is so important. And we're going to cover a little bit of the news today, as well as hear a couple of testimonials. Now, my background is not much different from everybody else. There was a time when I had no idea what Bitcoin and what cryptocurrency was. I didn't understand it. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was play money. In fact, I called it monopoly money. But year after year after year, this thing was not going away. It was not what you would call a fad. It was more than a trend. It started to impact multiple industries. But what really got my attention was when people that I knew knew nothing about Bitcoin and crypto. They don't have a background in this, but were making millions from it. So I got curious and I started to ask questions and say, what is this thing called Bitcoin? And one of the things I always say is, to my surprise, they couldn't answer my questions. They didn't even know what Bitcoin was. To them, all they see is Bitcoin keeps going up. So I decided to do my own research. I needed to find out what this is. Kind of like how Warren Buffett says, I will not invest in something I don't understand. So I took that same approach because this was something brand new. And if I'm going to put my time, money, and energy into it, I got to know where this thing is going. Is this a fad, a trend, or something else? So as I began to do my research, I went through sources I don't recommend you to do. I went to YouTube and Google. And those are one of the worst places you can go to, because if you're brand new, you don't know what questions to ask. You don't know where to begin. And later I realized that 50% of the information that I was given was incorrect. But I did learn two things that changed my life. In fact, it changed the entire course of my career. I've been privileged to be retired. This year will be my 10th year of being retired from corporate America and working from home. But I knew nothing about this financial space. The most I knew was after reading Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I understood, going from the E quadrant to the I quadrant, investor quadrant. But what I learned about this whole crypto thing is that the technology that Bitcoin is on top of, the technology, and this is important. I did one of my classes the other day, and someone asked a question about, can you give an analogy when it comes to Bitcoin's relationship to blockchain? And I said, well, look at it like this. We all know how the internet works. These information superhighways, the internet. And we all use tools on the internet like Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all those apps that everybody loves and uses, Google. But without the internet, they're useless. They don't work without the internet. Does Amazon work without the internet? No, they don't work. But is the internet still there without those companies? Yes, the internet was there before them. Same thing with the blockchain. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and all those, they don't work without the blockchain. But the blockchain can exist without those tokens and those tools and the companies. The companies need this technology. In fact, this technology is allowing many industries that have been in, I will call it on the drawing board for decades, only thought of science fiction, things like augmented reality, virtual reality, smart cities, AI, artificial intelligence. Until now, there was never technology that can merge and bring those together so that they're actually applicable in the real world. Blockchain technology has now made that possible. And I'm speaking on that because I just finished a new course series called The Internet of Things. And another 15 new videos. Nobody's seen them yet. It hasn't been released yet. But it really opened my mind when I was doing research on that as to where this blockchain technology is taking us. It is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today. Whether you like it, whether you understand it, whether you believe it, your opinion is irrelevant. And I say this all the time. My own father didn't really understand or believe this until he went to the grocery store and saw a Bitcoin ATM machine. He was like, oh, maybe there is something to this. Or his favorite basketball team is the Lakers. And where the Lakers play used to be called Staples Center, and it's now called Crypto.com Arena. But it's not the only one in the NBA. If you go to Miami, the Miami Stadium where the Miami Heat is called the FTX Arena, based out of the FTT exchange, which is not even based in the United States. They're based in Hong Kong, but it is an American who founded that exchange. So we're starting to see this all over the place, and every single industry is going to be impacted. The second thing that I learned that really changed my focus financially is that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. Now, there have been, and I explained this to my mom this way. I said, Mom, remember the gold rush? Yeah. You remember reading in school about the Industrial Revolution? It was the time right before her mother, my grandmother, was born. My grandmother was born in the 20s. Industrial Revolution, the time in between 1880 to 1920. America changed. We had steel, electricity. The railroads were really exploding all over the place. So times changed, history changed, automobiles. But how many of our ancestors, our relatives that lived during that time, participated in that new economic boom, the discovery of oil and everything? Not many people. But this is the fourth industrial revolution. And this revolution is being televised. It is being recorded. We're watching it live and in color. And all you need is a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn. And it was that last part that got me, because I can go down Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles, where all the homeless are. And you go there at nighttime, especially the streets where there's no real good street lights, and you see lights from phones all over the place. Even the homeless have cell phones and access to the internet. And if that's the case, that means every single individual has access to building their own wealth if they use this. All you need is a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn. So I said, okay, most people are not going to be willing to learn the way I did by going through YouTube and going through Google. And apologize, somebody just blowing me up in the Telegram group. But not many people is willing to go through what I went through with YouTube and whatsoever. So instead, I decided to create crypto education courses and do so in a way that my mom can understand. A lot of people get into crypto because they have a lot of money and they want to make money with that. So they just throw money at something they don't understand. And a lot of times people get lucky doing that. You might get lucky, you might make some money, but overall, you're going to end up losing all of your money all over time because they never learned the basics. So I said, what if I create educational courses that is going to teach the basics, the foundation that anybody can understand? I just did a class last night, and people that have been in crypto for years learn something new because they never learned the basics, like basic security with 2FA and your private keys. They had no clue about that, but they've been putting in $5,000, $20,000, $50,000 in the market trying to make some money. So that is where ILearning Crypto came in, because I use this smart contract to bring you crypto education. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a quick break, and I want to bring up a couple of people to give some testimonials about why they feel crypto education is important and their past with crypto. And then we're going to continue and hear about some latest news out of the UK when it comes to Bitcoin ATM machines. So with that, we will be right back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So now we're going to switch gears, and I want to bring up a couple of individuals just to give a short testimonial on, their experience in Bitcoin and crypto and why education is so important. So I want to bring up first, you might not have heard from her in a couple of weeks, from San Diego. Is Donna still there? Donna, are you there?
I am here. Hi, Brandon. It's great to be on again.
No problem. So share with everybody your experience with crypto and why you feel education is so important.
Absolutely. So, as some of you might have heard me say before, I kind of got introduced to Bitcoin back in maybe 2010, 2011. And, somebody came up to me and said, would you like to buy some Bitcoin? This is going to be the future and so forth. And to make this long story short, I passed up on the opportunity. I think it was around $27 that they were talking about. And, they said it's on the cloud. And I said, what cloud? There's no clouds in San Diego. And, so I passed up on the opportunity. And then as time went on, I was interested and, was always following, what Bitcoin was doing. And imagine if I knew about all this education that you were doing, Brandon. I mean, I would have been I would have had, a number of Bitcoin by now, but, I didn't take that opportunity. And so therefore, education is extremely important, and good education is even more important because there's so much on the internet. There's so much on YouTube that you can't even decipher, what's good information and what's bad information. So, you guys, Brandon brings the best of the best, and he, brings it to you straight, just like his mom and his dad, would want to hear. And, I think this is the best place to be, and, the best education that you're going to get out there.
Thank you for sharing, Donna. Next up, I don't know if she's on, the birthday girl, but Andy, is Marnita on? Has she been able to get in?
She certainly is, and I'm just going to say happy birthday before we bring her on. Happy birthday, Marnita. I'll just bring you on now.
Perfect. All right, the birthday girl. I know she's out celebrating, and she still wanted to be able to share her story. So, Marnita, once again, happy birthday. And go ahead and share with everybody why you're so excited about crypto and why education is so important.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, greetings everyone. As you can see, I am in a restaurant right now. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marnita, the Queen Connectress Casa. I am a house mom, entrepreneur, crypto enthusiast, and more than anything, I am very, very proud and honored to be a 3-year student of Brandon Bitcoin Ivy, and now I'm actually a student in his academy, the ILCA Academy, on my way to becoming crypto coach certified. So I am very, very excited. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Mwah. I thank you so very much. I am not going to be very long, you guys, because I am in a restaurant, but I thought it was so very important for me to come on here and tell you guys what I feel about crypto education and why I feel it's so very, very important, especially right now. Okay. I know this is going to sound a little cliche, but why? Because crypto education literally changed my life. Okay. Like I told you guys, I at first was just a stay at home mother, but because I made the decision to get crypto educated, I can now call myself an entrepreneur. I can now let you guys know that I contribute financially to my household. We are now talking about generational wealth. I'm out here with my kids. We are able to do wonderful things. So, as far as why crypto education is important, is because now more than anything, we need to secure ourselves. We need to make sure that we are financially stable. We need to make sure that no matter what happens outside of us, we have that foundation. And how do you get that? You get that through education. And the best education you can get is from somebody who cares, somebody who actually started with $30 and created an empire. That means he was right there where we are now, and we can be where he is. And I'm on my way, you guys. So I just want to tell you, do not stop trying. Take the step. Okay, whenever you're doing anything new, it's going to be scary. Even if you didn't think this was the path for you, I didn't think this was the path for me. And now I know this is my life. This is the life I've always wanted. Okay, so I'm going to get off because people are looking at me. But you guys, take that step. Brandon, Thank you so much for everything. And I know I speak for not only myself, but hundreds and hundreds of people out there who your cryptocurrency education, your knowledge, and the caring that you show has changed our lives. Okay, so thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Andy, thank you for your happy birthday wish. Mwah. You guys have a fantastic day.
All right. Thank you, Marnita. Enjoy the rest of your birthday. You deserve it. And speaking of Andy, I want to bring Andy right back up because we're going to lead and segment into soon about what's going on in the UK. So, Andy, come on up and share your story.
How you doing? How you doing? Okay. Well, as I said at the start of this call, when I introduced myself, I got introduced to Bitcoin when I earned some in 2015 as a byproduct of an opportunity, shall we say, that I was involved in, sort of, and I had some Bitcoin, and then I set about finding out what to do with it, how to turn it into money, as I saw it back then, and as I said at the start of this call, I wish I'd had Brandon around at that point because anybody I asked were always trying to get me involved in some weird opportunity where I could grow this out of thin air and stuff like that. So I wasn't getting proper education. I was getting people trying to bring me on board with other things. And but I did learn enough. I did learn enough. But had I had Brandon around at that point, I would not have made the mistakes I did, and I would have been an awful lot better off. There's been highs, there's been lows, but there has been some incredible highs. But the education side of it, people who maybe just go in blindly, don't do that, please, because you can make massive mistakes. And there's a lot of people who maybe sold Bitcoin when panicked, and then there's nightmare stories out there. I made a massive mistake. I had a currency called Doge years ago, a couple of years ago. I think I probably had 500,000 of Doge at some point. Now, Doge was worthless at that point in time, and it was one that I thought, I'll just buy some of this. Like, guys, that currency just went through the roof last year because Elon Musk jumped on its back and promoted it, and it went crazy. But you really need to get yourself educated and be patient, never panic, and you only ever lose if you sell at a loss. Now, the only other thing I would say, Brandon also mentioned. I don't want to put people off by telling them horror stories, so I'm going to tell you something really nice. Brandon mentioned crypto.com arena, and there's my crypto.com debit card. Now this is something I don't. Since I've met Brandon, I very rarely sell or spend my crypto. I'm holding that. That is me. That's going to see me into my old age, or older age. I'm getting on a bit already. But guys, once I discovered crypto debit cards and the crypto.com card, just got a little list here. One of the things I do spend money on is traveling around Europe. For you guys in the States, obviously, I understand a lot of you guys stay within the States because you've got all sorts of different places all over the USA within a couple of hours flight. And for me, that's Europe. Now, I've been to Venice, Krakow, Paris twice, Porto, Prague, Budapest twice, going to Dubrovnik in 2 weeks. I've been to Faro in Portugal as well. And all of that was funded by money I earned, profits I made in cryptocurrency, and all the spending money was for those trips was all out of cryptocurrency. If you're careful and if you're educated, this can change your life. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to get educated, just listen to the gentleman who's running this call very closely. Follow what he did and what he does and what he suggests that you do very closely. Can't speak highly enough about the quality of the information that this guy gives. Okay, Brandon?
Thank you, Andy. I can't wait to start traveling again. COVID shut me down for the last couple of years. I've been all over the United States and Europe. I still have a lot of places to go. Paris, I've been to Paris, UK, and Sweden, Italy, Venice, Greece, like Corfu, Santorini, the Greek mainland. But there's still a lot of places I want to be able to visit, and especially my wife loves it. But
Oh,
thank you for sharing that, Andy. And
my pleasure.
I know why everybody's blowing me up. We had a time change this past weekend, but that didn't mean the time changed everywhere in the world. We call it fall back, spring forward. Our time change went up an hour. And so it messed up my presentations that I do in Africa. So Africa is all blowing me up right now. And I forgot to think about that time change. That's why I'm getting hit up. But we will have that corrected for next week. So we're going to take a quick break and I'm going to come back. I'm going to read an article. We're going to talk about what's going on in the UK with Bitcoin ATM machines. So we'll be right back. All right. So welcome back, everybody. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to share screen. First, we always going to want to look at what's going on in the crypto marketplace. And then we're going to look at the article. So let me share screen. All right. Here we go. So what's going on in the crypto marketplace as of now? The crypto market is up 1.7% over the last 24 hours. We're at 1.8 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 41.1%. Ethereum is at 17.4. Bitcoin has crossed the $40,000 range. I've been listening to some analysts, and they still believe that we still have one more major drop in Bitcoin before we can see it rise back up again. And that if this can't hit past the $42,000 mark, expect to see it drop back down to the $30,000 range. So I'm watching this closely, but Bitcoin is up 2.1% in the last 24 hours. And so is Ethereum. Ethereum is up 2.6% to 2,700. I want to see Ethereum go to 3,000. I have a big trade in place on this. So I'm already up 5.4% so far on the week. So I want to see this hit 3,000, then I'm going to sell. But the market looks pretty much kind of flat, a little bit in the green. But if we look at the past week, since last time we came together, the best performer was Zito Finance, up 79.4%. Thorchain 77.1%. The Graph 34.3%, Waves 26.8%, Basic Attention 24.4%, Stack 17.2%, so on and so on, etc. The worst performers for the week: Heart down 56%, Omi down 22.4%, Phantom 8.8%, Cello 7.8%, Pancake Swap 7.7. Let's see. Filecoin 4.6. Shiba Inu's down 3.2. All right. So let's go take a look at what's going on in Britain. Now, there's many different articles about this that have come out because it sparked a lot of controversy in the market. You know, whatever, and I've been saying this goes for every government. It is a quote from Ronald Reagan. He was president of the United States in the 80s, former governor of my state, California, in the 70s. And he's a Republican, in those of you that don't know, in the United States. And he said something in the 80s about new technology that's being developed. He said if the government doesn't own it or control it, then there are certain things that the government will do. And the first is criminalize it, make it illegal. The second thing that they'll do is attempt to ban it. The third thing, once they realize that banning it, making it illegal is not working, then they will figure out how to regulate it. How do we regulate this thing to bring it under our control? And the fourth is what we call co-opt it, meaning, okay, let's create our own version of it that we can control. We'll co-opt it. Well, right now in today's era of crypto, all four things are happening at the same time. They want to criminalize it. Like, look at what's happening right here in the UK. ATMs are illegal in the UK. Number two, they want to try to ban it. You're going to see next they want to ban ATM machines or Bitcoin ATM machines, or depending on the country, like Russia or China, they want to ban anything dealing with Bitcoin in favor of what's coming next, the co-opting of it, their own digital currency. The China already has the digital yuan. Russia wants to create the digital ruble. United States already has in development the digital dollar, or called Fed coin. Banks are coming out with their own, what's called CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And at the same time, our president of the United States signed a bill last week, an executive order, to help to regulate the space. So all four are being done at the same exact time. So let's see what is happening in the UK. So the UK's financial regulator has warned consumers not to use cryptocurrency ATMs operating in the country, as they are doing so illegally. Okay, let's stop right there. Do you think the UK financial regulator has just figured out that there are Bitcoin ATM machines in the country? Is this new information? No. No, this is not new. They want to change the rules as they go along. The Financial Conduct Authority said any machines offering crypto asset exchange services in the UK must be registered and comply with UK money laundering regulations. They stop right there. I have not read this article yet. I just pulled this on up this morning. But I read things like a lawyer, and I break down certain words. And in this sentence, it says crypto asset services in the UK must be registered. That's one. And then they add this, and comply with UK money laundering regulations. Okay, first and foremost, you cannot be registered without complying with the UK money laundering regulations. They don't just register and give you the okay without following suit on everything. So keep this in mind. I'm going to see where this is going. None of the crypto asset firms registered with us. Whoa, wait, hold on. None of the crypto asset firms registered with us. So what you're saying is they are registered with you. So if they did register with you, how did you approve the registration? Have been approved to offer crypto ATM. How did Bitcoin ATM machines get approved and registered, and you didn't know that there were Bitcoin crypto ATM machines? See, I call bogus on this. I'm only asking the question based on what they said. They said they must be registered. Okay, now you're admitting they are registered. And then you say they must comply with money laundering regulations. But you say down here, none of them have been approved to offer crypto ATM services. How can they be registered and you not know what they're doing? Meaning that any of them operating in the UK are doing so illegally, and consumers should not be using them. Again, I call BS on this. We are concerned about crypto ATM machines operating in the UK and will therefore be contacting the operators, instructing that the machines be shut down or face further action. So you registered them up front, you approved them, and now that you don't like where this is going, you're going to say that what they're doing is illegal. So you are admitting that you approve something that you see as illegal. The FCA currently lists over 240 crypto asset firms. What? 240? Hold on, let's take a quick glance at this. 240 crypto asset firms on site, none of which are registered with the regulator. However, it said that 110 are no longer operational, leaving around 130. Okay. Again, how are there 240 crypto asset firms in your country? They can't operate without being registered. You already admitted that they're registered here. Now you're saying they're not. Unregistered crypto asset businesses. Crypto.com, I seriously doubt that they didn't get registered because they did here in the United States. Crypto.com, Miners Gold, BTC Invest. Oh, wow. Look at these. I see anything that sticks out to me. Bitcoin Trader, Legit Mining, Crypto.com, Alt Markets, Capital Coins, TradeFX, Crypto Big Business, Capital Profits. Look at all of this. See, governments are supposed to be there to, yes, protect the citizens, but also to allow businesses to thrive. And if you have a business in the UK that's thriving, isn't that tax revenue for the state? Isn't that helping to employ more people of your citizens? So why are you doing something that is like shooting yourself in the foot? But look at what they say here. Might be doing business illegally. Might be. UK court and upper tribunal last month ruled against one such firm, Giddy Plus, which appealed against the FCA's refusal to grant its application for registration under the MLRs. The judge concluded that there was a lack of confidence as to how Giddy Plus would undertake its business in a broadly compliant fashion. We regularly warn consumers that crypto assets are unregulated and high risk means people are very unlikely to have any protection if things go wrong. So people should be prepared to lose all their money if they choose to invest in them. Yeah, I have no problem with that. A disclaimer is always okay. The news comes amidst a broader crackdown. Now, here's where we go. Broader crackdown on crypto providers as Western sanctions start to bite Russia and Belarus. This is the real problem here, why this is happening. They want to crack down to avoid any individual or nation state to avoid United States sanctions by using crypto. And a lot of Russian oligarchs own property in the UK. So they want to seize the property, the yachts. There's in London, there's a street, they call it Billionaire Row, where I think the owner of Chelsea, the soccer team, the football team. I'm an American. We only know one football, and that's the Los Angeles Rams winning the Super Bowl. But around the world, what we call soccer is your football. So the owner of the Chelsea League football team owns many properties. He's Russian in the UK. and they're all on the sanction list, which means their assets have been frozen. But if they have crypto assets, they can still operate. So the government was trying to block that off. That's what this is all about. Why all of a sudden they want to block Bitcoin ATM machines. So it says, it released a list of screening controls and red flag indicators to take note of. Last week, President Biden also signed an executive order designed to enhance consumer protection and reduce the national security risks posed by crypto. Now, I'm actually not against this executive order because we actually do need regulation. We do need to know what the rules are. In the US, there is a lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple. Ripple seems to be winning it so far, and the SEC is starting to play dirty so that they can win. But if there was regulation in place to begin with, then this wouldn't be an issue. For years, Ripple kept asking the SEC to identify them either as a security or not. And the SEC refused to answer that question. And then years later, they decide to sue. Oh, we're suing you because we make it breaking the law. So this is something close to watch out. Understand, I believe this is going to be a temporary thing. The genie is already out of the bottle. No government is going to be able to put it back in. All they can do is try to discourage it and slow it down. That's all they're going to be able to do. They're not going to be able to stop it, but try to muddy the waters enough to slow it down just a bit, make it a little bit more uncomfortable, and a couple more steps for people to have to use crypto, and they're hurting themselves at the same time. 130 something businesses in the crypto space where new money is being generated. How the new Amazon is going to come from these type of companies, and you want to ban them from being able to give you tax revenue in your country. Not the smartest thing. But why I'm paying attention to it, even though I'm in the United States, is that this can be a domino effect. Other countries can see, okay, what did the UK do? How did they ban Bitcoin ATM machines? And can we do the same thing right here? So we want to pay close attention to that. So speaking of that, now I'm going to switch, and we are going to learn about crypto education, or how you can get involved in crypto education. So this TV show with E360 is sponsored by ILearning Crypto. ILearning Crypto. So for those of you who are either brand new to crypto space, or you don't, you might have been in for a while, but you never went through the basics. Cryptocurrency education is everything. In fact, I have 4 rules I live by in this space. Cryptocurrency is key, and education is key. Education is everything. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Rule number 3, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? No. Always get a return on your investment back as fast as possible. Rule number 3. Rule number 4, where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 3 years, 5 years? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, find a vehicle, stay focused, take action, and do not get distracted. Now, following these 4 rules is not going to guarantee you success, but they will at least minimize your risk. And let's talk about why crypto education is important, because the alternative we already know doesn't work. Most people are going to fail financially. 93% don't have good salaries. 95% will not succeed in business. 97% will retire broke, dependent on family and friends by the age of 65. Most people do not have $1,000 in their savings account. Most people cannot afford a $400 emergency without going into debt. But I want you to think about this. Our world is increasingly moving digital, and digital currency is the new financial revolution. We've heard of Uber, a transportation company that owns no cars. Amazon, the world's largest retail chain that has no stores. Airbnb, a hotel chain that owns no property. And then we've got crypto. Crypto that went from 0.003 cents in 2009 to $69,000 in 2021. This is by far the best performing asset of the past, not week, not month, not year, but more than a decade. Nothing even comes close. And why is that? This whole crypto movement, because it is something that is controlled by the people, not a government, a bank, a CEO, or a business. It is universal in value. So unlike fiat money, where the government can just print more money whenever they want to, only 21 million will ever be in existence. So that finite number creates demand. And where there's demand, the value goes up. It's universal in value also. One Bitcoin in Japan that just had a 7.3 earthquake. So our thoughts and prayers go out to, in fact, it was three, a 5.5, 6.4, and a 7.3 within minutes in the same area. The scary thing is right by that Fukushima plant again. So we got to keep them in our prayers. But Japan, one Bitcoin in Japan is worth one Bitcoin in the United States or Canada or the UK or South Africa. It doesn't matter where. And they're permissionless. You can send Bitcoin anywhere around the world, regardless of borders, without the need of having permission from the Western Union, a bank wire transfer, a bank. They all charge high third-party fees. You can send anywhere, as simple as sending an email that happens almost instantaneous. In 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin, the world's first global decentralized crypto. In 2009, Bitcoin's value was less than a penny. In 2010, it was valued at 40 cents. 2016, it was valued at $600. In 2021, it started to fluctuate around $69,000. And if you would have invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, today it will be worth over $60 million. You can all go back to 2010. We all remember that. Did we have $100 in 2010? Even if you're broke, you could have found a way to get $100. And would it be okay if it took 12 years and that $100 flipped to 60 million? Is that okay? Yeah, because 12 years is going to come anyway. But see, the technology that Bitcoin is on top of is something that most people don't understand. They're already asking what is Bitcoin, but they definitely don't know what blockchain is. People want to know, is it real? Am I too late? How do I buy it? And most importantly, can I spend it? Well, this is where ILearning Crypto comes in. We have 45 videos broken up into 3 lessons: Bitcoin 101, Advanced Crypto, and how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. You're going to learn how to buy your first Satoshi. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You're going to learn how to store your Bitcoin safely in crypto wallets, purchase and sell with Bitcoin, trade cryptocurrencies, learn how altcoins work, how blockchain technology works, and all training is done by streaming video. We teach you everything you need to know. So with these videos, you can stop, pause, rewind. If you feel like, I don't have time to go back to school, I got a 1 job, 2 jobs, kids, I don't have the time. Well, this is done in a way, and I always like to say, I did this in a way that my mom can understand. The videos are anywhere between 5 minutes to 30 minutes long. So you can take 6 months to go through it or a couple of days. It's completely up to you. With Bitcoin 101 in 15 lessons, this course is designed to take you through the history of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Each video is designed to take you through a step-by-step process to know the fundamentals of the technology and how it works. Once you have completed this course, you will have more than a basic functioning understanding of blockchain, how to purchase Bitcoin, and how to use it. Then we have Advanced Crypto in 15 lessons. This course is designed for those of you who have gone through the Bitcoin 101 course or have some basic understanding of what Bitcoin is and how it functions. We will dive deeper into the functional workings of crypto and blockchain projects. You will be introduced to other top coins on the market besides Bitcoin. Did you realize there's more than 13,000 of them? 13,000 coins. Besides Bitcoin on the market, you're going to learn about the economic ecosystem of cryptocurrencies. By the time you finish this course, you will have a clear understanding of crypto economics, the functioning roles of crypto, and how to understand the charts. You will be ready to engage in the cryptocurrency space. And then finally, we have how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in 15 lessons. By this point, you have an advanced understanding of the history of blockchain technology and the crypto space. You are ready to engage and build your portfolio. There is no one strategy that fits them all. This course will share multiple strategies and opportunities so that you will have the confidence and skills in this space to earn a profit. Now, people who understand the power of Bitcoin in this era will be one step closer to finding their financial freedom. I like to always say what my mentor Jim Rohn used to say in this crypto space. Well, he didn't say it for crypto, but I adopted it for crypto. That there's a lot going on in the world today. There's COVID. There's inflation in the United States. There is war going on between Russia and Ukraine. We have refugee crisis the modern world hasn't seen in a long time. We've got government wants to regulate crypto. So there's a lot of things that are not in our control that we can't handle or we can't dictate what's going on with the world. But it's not what happens to you that's important. It's how you react to what happens to you. And what Jim Rohn said is that the goal is to build a financial wall around your house so high that nothing can penetrate it, because we now have enough evidence from personal experience and testimonials that it is possible to not only design, but to live an extraordinary life through crypto. We have seen it, we have witnessed it, and some of us have even gone through it. So those of you who understand this will be one step closer to finding your financial freedom. So how do you get the education? How do you get this? Well, you want to go back, and I'm going to stop sharing screen here and come back to StreamYard. Scrolling right there on the bottom for more information on how to get started and get your crypto education, e360tv.now.site. It's been scrolling down there all day, all afternoon. That is where you go so that you can get your crypto education and get started. So that is it for our broadcast for this week. We'll be back next week with a brand new topic. I may have some more different testimonials to be given from some guest speakers. So again, thank you guys for being here with us this week. Thank you, Andy, Donna, and Marnita, for sharing your story. Again, also happy birthday, Marnita, the connectress. And we will see you all next week. Same time. I know the time changed, messed everything up. In fact, I've got my organizations in Africa is blowing me up right now about that. So with that, I will see you guys next week. Let's see what type of profit you can make between now, or actually not profit. What can you learn between now and next Wednesday? Take care, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.